Art is too important not to share. Welcome to the Allie and Callie Artcast.
Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Kristin.
And because Callie's not here, she had a doctor's appointment this morning that, sometimes it's really hard to get a doctor's appointment and then you have it and then something comes up. You've had it for months and you really want to do that other thing, but you can't give that doctor's appointment up.
Right.
So Kristin is our producer and she's going to hang in there with me today. And we're actually recording this. So
live.
We're going to call it our Christmas edition.
So we need a little.
Yay! And there's several people in this room who we have had guests as guests on our podcast.
Yeah, let's see. We've had April. Where's April? April's been one of our guests.
And Darla. Yep.
And
Suzanne.
We've had Suzanne as a guest.
And Abby.
Yes.
Who actually works for me. So we made her do it once.
Or does she work for me? No, just kidding.
Maybe she works for you. No, she works for me.
No, I sat on the board for 6 years, and last Friday was my last board meeting.
Yeah. She has to go off. We require board members to go off. We do 3-year terms, and after 2 3-year terms, you have to go off for a year. You're welcome to come back. And I think it says a lot about our board that we have a lot of people come back.
Yeah, a lot of people come back.
Yeah.
But we do like new blood, though, too.
Yes, we do. And we are actually looking for new board members.
We're looking for an attorney. Anybody an attorney
out there?
We'd love to have an attorney on the board.
Right?
Yeah. I think an attorney would be a good choice.
So we finished the end of our second season of podcasts. So we've done 75 podcasts. This is 76.
Two seasons. We started this show as a need for doing advertising for our sponsors. And it actually started out kind of organically with kind of like a Kathy Lee and Hoda, or no, what was it called?
Totally.
What did we call
Kathy
it back then?
Lee and
Kathy
Hoda.
Lee and Hoda, okay.
Where
the girls would get together with a sponsor. Yeah. Where the girls would get together with a sponsor, they'd have a little wine, they'd talk a little this, they'd talk whatever the sponsor had coming up, whether it was, an event that they were doing with their business or specials or whatever, kind of a way to promote that particular business, because we're all about trying to promote our sponsors.
Right.
So, and then that morphed into, we had kind of an art scandal in Coeur d'Alene, and that kind of morphed into, we need to get a little bit more in depth with our artists and our artist community, and wanting to put more of a spotlight and engage with the artists here locally.
And all of a sudden, Kristin is saying to Callie and I, let's do a podcast. And Callie and I went, what's a podcast? So we've learned a lot.
Yeah, it was trial by error. We started initially at a company that I don't even think exists anymore.
Right.
I don't know. And then we thought, you know what?
We can do it ourselves.
We can do this ourselves. And we just kind of figured it out. It was...
I'm the editor. I actually have learned how to edit podcasts. It's really fascinating.
It's actually a lot easier than you think.
Yeah.
It's not hugely expensive. There are subscriptions you have to kind of subscribe to, but
you can find us on any of your favorite podcasts.
Any of the platforms.
On Apple Podcast, on Amazon, Spotify. Podbean is our major platform. So if we do a video, which we did one video this year, the only way you can see that is on Podbean.
Or on
our website.
Yeah.
Because on our website you can see all of them. But
yeah,
what were your favorites?
Oh gosh, my favorite shows last season, I think it was. So let me tell you a funny story. We would always do a podcast, and we actually ended up at the Hive, if anybody remembers the Hive, and Melinda
Cadwalder.
Thank you. She had a great space that she had actually like a little studio, like a little podcast studio. So we ended up there. Well, after every podcast, we'd say goodbye to our guests, and then we'd head off and we would, go have lunch and a couple glasses of wine, and we'd plan our next podcast.
And we would usually end up in hilarious laughter.
Yes. And we ended up at a fire one day and started talking about, okay, so what I behind the scenes laugh about is that Callie and Allie joke about their husbands and how their husbands don't do anything.
Right.
And they're always whining about it.
Like my garage is still, I can't park in it.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
So we got to sitting at lunch one day, and I was like, well, we should do a show and call it Wine with Allie and Callie, WHINE. But then we're actually with a professional wine person.
A sommelier.
A sommelier. And we call it the Wine with Allie and Callie, right? So I think that's my favorite show. We ended up
I'm really glad you came around to that, because I was wondering if you were going to...
Give me a minute. So I think that was my favorite show. So we ended up at Krista and Robbie French's house and drank wine with them for, I can't even tell you how long.
We ended up having two
shows.
episodes because it lasted so long.
It was fabulous. Krista has traveled the world drinking the best wine in the world, and I guarantee you, if you talk to her today, which you can, because her and Robbie opened Stylus Wine and Vinyl. That's their establishment. Her favorite wine in the world is out of Washington, Central Washington. So there you have it. But I think that was my favorite show. I've never laughed as much. Might have been the most wine I've ever drank in my entire life. Robbie sang for us. If anybody knows who Robbie French is, he's a musician that plays around town a lot.
And an actor.
So that might be one of my favorite shows. April's show is one of my favorites.
April, yep.
Abby's is one of my favorites. Suzanne's is one of my favorites.
Of course.
Anybody else who's been in this room? In this room?
I know it's really hard for me to say a favorite because I have so many. Victoria's was really fun. That was that one video that we've done. It was Cook in the Kitchen with Allie and Callie, or Allie and Callie in the Kitchen with Victoria. And it was really fun. We drank these really fun mezcal drinks while we cooked this amazing, I don't even remember what it was called, food. But Abby recorded it for us on the phone, and then Kristin was doing it with a more professional camera. And it turned out really cool. It did turn out really good.
It was really fun. Good. What's your favorite show?
Adam's was good. He is a photographer that travels the world, and he tries to get a story from people. So he takes pictures of people and then gets their story. And he did a book on it, and it's really amazing.
Called Hello from a Stranger. Adam is the one, if anybody's heard about it, he does the Monday night community dinners at his house in his backyard, and he has musicians. And he'll put an ad out in the paper and say, just show up at my house. Perfect strangers.
Yeah.
His whole thing is about human connection, and literally, I'm surprised he hasn't done it yet, but you should put out a basket, and throw your phone in it, because he doesn't want you on your phone.
Right.
He wants you connecting with humans and connecting with people and connecting with your community. And
yeah,
we need more of that right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, the podcast is just one of the things that we do for the Arts and Culture Alliance, and actually, we've only been doing it for a couple of years, but so Art Walk is what started the Arts and Culture Alliance, and that was back in 2005. It was started by Steve Gibbs, who was a very good friend and amazing guy who promoted the arts, really started promoting the arts in Coeur d'Alene. I feel really fortunate to have worked with him while he was alive. And then we started doing an artist studio tour. That's been a really positive thing. April's been on the tour. Darla, who runs the Jack in Post Falls, was kind enough to open her building to a bunch of artists, so they were one of the stops on the studio tour this year. April was on it, not this year though, because she got married.
Married.
Sculptures out in the
Oh, Jeff May.
Jeff May, yeah.
There's just different mediums. You see sculpturists, you see where they work, how they're inspired. It's really cool. So if you haven't done some of these things these ladies are talking about, put it on your list. This is what this group is all about, is to inspire you and to engage.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot that this group does. So just pick one this next year in 23 and do it.
Right? Yeah. A few years ago, we started doing the VIP shuttle bus, and that's one of the only things that we charge for with the Arts and Culture Alliance. Everything that we do is free, with a couple of exceptions, and the shuttle is amazing because you have this great bus that you're not crammed in on. It's roomy. It's the Inspire bus. He basically donates. We pay a little bit, but he donates the bus. And we charge $50 a day to go on this tour, and you get mimosas on the bus. And we are all about drinking. Yeah, exactly.
Happy coffee.
Right. And we visit half of the studios on Saturday and the other half of the studios on Sunday. And some people do both days, and some people will just pick one. But we always have a really nice catered lunch in one of the artist studio gardens. Terry Lee's last year was just beautiful.
Last year you did Terry's and Callie's, right?
Yeah.
Callie's and Terry's.
Yeah.
And the year before was
Terry's and Red Brick.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when I scoped it out, it was really pretty. When we actually got there for it, all the grass was dead. It wasn't very pretty. That was a bummer, but oh well. Anyway.
And you don't have to drive. You get chauffeured around all day. You meet new people. It's just...
Yeah, and you get this amazing tour guide. Don't let me interrupt you.
So we actually have some swag in the back with a lot of our brochures. So please check one of those out on your way out today.
Yeah, take one. And the Art Walk bag, which I did want to touch on. These were actually printed, hand printed, designed and everything by the Work of Art program, which is a program through the Parents Unlimited and the
SMR, isn't it?
Vocational rehab thing. Okay. Anyway, they're designed and printed by young adults with special needs, and they do a beautiful job. I don't think I have one for everybody, but please take one because they're pretty cool. Anyway, we also do Kids Draw Architecture. That's the other thing that we charge for. It's $10 a kid. We charge for that only because we do not want parents to use it as a babysitter. So, and it's ages 10 and up. And it's amazing. We pair kids with architects and experts in the field, and they learn how to draw. They learn how to understand how the architecture and the public art in this area reflects us as a culture. It's a really, really cool program.
It's a great program. It's a great program. We spent 2 years or 3 years up at Cataldo Mission.
Yeah, 3 years at Cataldo Mission, which was really fun.
We get great support for this program from the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, which is fantastic. We love partnering with the tribe. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should mention some of our sponsors, actually. This would be a really great chance to mention some of our sponsors.
STCU is our sponsor for Art Walk, and Idaho Central Credit Union is our main sponsor for the Riverstone Concert Series, which is the other thing that we do. It is free. It's at Riverstone. We have amazing 10 concerts. We are getting the shade cover up this year. Yay! That's been a long time coming.
That's been a long time coming.
Yeah. Put a lid on it.
Put a lid on the frying pan.
That's right. That stage got dubbed the frying pan by our bands.
Has anybody been to Riverstone? The Riverstone concerts?
Oh, very good.
Okay, great.
Good. Yeah. The other thing we do is Arts Buzz, and that is our every month meeting. It's always the first Friday of the month at 9 a.m. at the Chamber, and it is a great way to get connected to the art world. We have artists, we have performers, we have arts organizations come and share their events and share their talents and get advice from each other. And it's been a really great way for us to keep up on what everybody's doing. And it's unique to nonprofits because we're always, in other areas, we're always fighting for that dollar. And I feel like we support each other because of this group.
Yeah. Another one of our great programs is Music for the Wise, which is a program that was started about, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
Oh, no, longer than that.
Longer than that?
It's been 10 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Anyway, we bring musicians and singers into retirement communities to get them exposed to just...
Because music is so important.
So,
as you guys well know.
Yeah. And it's, it's good for the folks that live there that cannot get out as much as they would like to, especially this time of the year. Mm-hmm. The program usually starts in January and runs through April.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean,
we do it in the winter months when it's really difficult for the elderly to get out. And then the newest thing that we have is, as Mara Lee touched on, it's our free little miniature art gallery. And it's on 6th and Garden, right next to the Red Brick Studio. And it's been really fun. It was Abby's brilliant idea to do this this little mini gallery where you can exchange, you can go and take a piece, and we encourage you to leave a piece. It's been incredibly popular, so much so that we have another one that's going to be installed as soon as the ground isn't frozen.
On Government Way.
On Government Way.
Government Way.
Mm-hmm. But it's been a lot of fun, and Abby got a grant through the Idaho Community Foundation to do it, and we had enough money to purchase the second one. So Abby, I'm sure, can tell us more about that. But since we're on a time crunch...
Some people have left jewelry.
Right.
Little pieces of jewelry or... Yeah, something they've made. So it's been actually pretty successful.
Yeah, it's really been fun. So anything else that we forgot to touch on?
I would say that, the podcast will be back in March. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping for a really fun year this year. I think we've got a couple of road trips.
Yep, we've got... Oh, that's what I wanted to tell. We actually went international this year. We drove to Canada and did a couple of podcasts in Revelstoke, BC. They were having the Luna Festival, and we wanted to promote the Luna Festival, and we got to interview a couple of artists while we were there, and it was an amazing trip. And next year we're taking the whole board there because we had so much fun.
Yeah, I think this year we've got an artist on the coast that we'd like to a driftwood artist that we'd really like to interview. Right. So we've got some
exciting things coming up, and if you're interested, become a member of the Arts and Culture Alliance. It's $40 a year, and it's worth it. You are supporting the arts in our community, which are so important.
Mm-hmm. Help us keep these programs free.
Yeah,
like Riverstone and Art Walk, and
you can find us at artsandculturecda.org. You can also find us on Facebook, and thanks to Abby, you can find us on Instagram now. So I'm Allie.
And I'm Kristin, or Callie.
And whatever you do today, make sure
it's creative. Oh, darn it, I screwed it up.
That's all right.
The Allie and Callie Artcast is a program of the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance and is sponsored by NIA, North Idaho Alliance, a woman-based leadership organization designed to inspire, uplift, and impact your community and lives. And Tubbs Coffee Roasters, globally sourced, locally roasted coffee.